On the rear of the SD9 are the audio and peripheral connections. So let's take a look at what the SD9 provides. Starting on the left are the power supplies. The SD9 can be fitted with either one or two supplies, and if you have two, they are hot swappable, so no need to power down to change out a PSU. Just above the power supplies are the MIDI and GPIO connections. The MIDI is standard in, out and through connections. You might use this for changing patches on external effects units or triggering sound effect systems like QLab. The two GPIs and two GPOs are on 1/4-inch jack. You might set these up for a foot switch to trigger a macro or trigger external events. Moving over to the right, there are two rows of XLRs. The top row has two AES inputs and 8 mic line inputs. Below that are the equivalent outputs, 2 AES and 8 analog line out. These are your local ins and outs when you're routing signals. Along the bottom are the connections for remote racks and word clock. There's standard word clock in and out on BNC connectors, and you'll need this for clocking external gear to the desk or integrating the desk as part of a larger system. To the right of this is the standard MADI port, again on BNC connectors. All the Digico range use standard MADI, and this can be used for connecting any of the Digico range of racks or a MADI-based recording device. A little later in this chapter, we'll show you how to set up connections for your recorder. To the right of the MADI ports are the two Digico DRAC interfaces. These are on Cat5 connectors, and a single Cat5 cable carries the audio to and from the remote DRAC. Each DRAC has 32 inputs and up to 16 outputs, so using both ports gives you 64 inputs and up to 32 outputs. The last few connections on the rear are the PC connections: USB, keyboard and mouse, VGA monitor, network connections, and the lit light ports. The keyboard and mouse should always be connected. It's used for data entry, naming channels and snapshots, and it's sometimes quicker to type with the real keyboard rather than the on-screen keyboard, especially when setting the desk up. The VGA output is for connecting a standard PC monitor. We call it the overview screen, and it acts like a meter bridge, providing much more of an overview of all levels on all channels. You'll need to have this monitor connected before you power the desk on. There's more on the network setup in the Advanced Connections chapter.